Hello and welcome to Hexed Encountered. I'm Joe. In this video, we will be taking a first look at a game I just got from Compass Games. This is a Bruce Maxwell design. It is the designer signature edition of Air Armor Würzburg Tactical Armored Warfare in Europe. So this is a deluxeified edition of an older game and a very popular game. And let's take a look at the back here. So it says Air Armor Würzburg, designer's signature edition, marks the return of one of the most highly rated war games on Modern Warfare ever. Air Armor is a grand tactical simulation of a hypothetical Soviet attack on West Germany in the mid-1980s. It depicts the collision of the Soviet 8th Guards Army with elements of the U.S. 3rd Infantry Division and West German 12th Panzer Division in ferocious battles around the German city of Würzburg. This new edition is lovingly recreated with an updated order of battle, new map artwork, new unit counters, revised rules, and new scenarios. Air Armor employs a highly interactive game system with asymmetric rules, modeling the different command and control capabilities of each alliance. The game simulates all major aspects of modern warfare, including reconnaissance, combined arms operations, air, helicopter, and artillery strikes, chemical and electronic warfare, and combat engineering. Multiple levels of hidden intelligence produce a true fog of war, providing plenty of opportunities for deception, surprise, and ambush. Play this game to experience what it would have been like to command a Cold War division in battle. So the designer signature edition has 12 scenarios that each depict a unique battle situation. The game can be played in open mode or hidden mode. So we'll talk about that in a bit. That's actually a pretty innovative thing here that basically it makes the game very solitaire friendly. The hidden mode does. So we'll talk about that once we get inside the box here. It does say high complexity. One turn in the time scale is 2 hours. Our map scale is 1 mile per hex. Unit scale is companies to regiments. Number of players 2 to 7, so you can make teams. Highly suitable for solitaire, and the average time to play is 3 to 12 hours based on scenario. You can see all of the stuff that comes in the box. We will be looking at that momentarily. Our designer is Bruce Maxwell, the developer Fred Schwartz, project director John Krantz, and game artist Bruce Yerian. So let's take a look inside the box. So I will take the shrink off camera, and then we will take a look at all the stuff that's in here. I will say this is a heavy box. Okay, let's pull the box open here and see what's inside. Assuming I can get my fingers on here. Crooked. There we go. Okay. Well, we have 2D10 right here. And we have, I guess this is a map correction for Karlstadt. And yeah, you can see that it's just a little piece. It's a sticker, apparently. And so we do have some errata here at the top, stapled together. There's a couple of them. We have, I guess it's actually 2 copies of the same thing, it looks like. This is from February. And so there are corrections for various pieces of the rule book. And we have our reading material. Now this is a point that some people have complained about. We'll get to that in a sec. So here are our charts and tables. So if we take a quick look in here, you've got how to read the unit counters. Very, very neat, necessary, of course. So you can see it's pretty much standard stuff in terms of what's on the counter, right? You've got your brigade color stripe and unit designation, so you know what unit you're dealing with. Vehicle type, that's obviously armor. Then you've got your attack strength, your unit symbol, which is armored, and then your defense strength. Pretty straightforward. The back is the reduced side, I would assume. And then you've got here division base color stripe and the unit designation, vehicle type. It's the same thing for artillery units, basically, except they have a range instead of the unit in the middle here. Headquarters units, again, they have a command range there. That's 10, and that's 11 hexes. Aircraft units right here. You have a range, defense strength, attack strength, the type. So this would be an A-10. And you have a low altitude attack profile and a high altitude attack profile. Interesting. Helicopter units, same kind of thing, pretty much, very similar. Defense strength for utility helicopter units. So this is an AH-64 attack helicopters attack profile. So there's much more in here. We do have various tables. Reconnaissance table, screening table, Warsaw Pact fire support table, main effort, NATO fire support, chart, counter battery, acquisition, artillery fire, and you can see there's differentiation between US and others. Artillery fire chart, mine attack table, air call, flak strength, anti-aircraft. This is why the game has a lot to it, obviously. We've got gas. You've got the West German Gegenangriff table. Formation interaction chart, chemical warfare, jamming, proximity effects, stacking limits, marker effects chart. So you have various markers here and what they mean. Retreat priority, shatter table, engineering chart, bridge demolition, disruption, night effects, open mode contact, hidden mode contact, revelation table, air mobile operations, artillery pool chart, amphibious crossing, the TEC, the famous terrain effects chart, and our fire effects chart as well. And then a image of the map on the back. So that's a lot of charts. And we have a second one here, which is, of course, the same thing. So one for each player. You get two of those. We get a playbook, which is pretty thick. So this would contain, obviously, things like your scenarios. You've got notes for player notes, designer's notes, developer's notes, the TO and E notes, the index, and the game credits. So you've got here how to play the scenarios, basically, victory conditions, multiplayer games, Vassal and PBEM, play by email. And then our scenarios, Thermopylae, race for the bridges, out of the fog. I won't go into these too much. We'll see some of these when we do some playthroughs. Last reserve, counterattack, Kameradschaft, the Wolf's Jaws, attack on an exposed flank, bolt from the blue. Oh, this is a long one. Attack to relieve a pocket. That would be the 10th, I guess. Forward defense. And the last one, I'm assuming, is Hammer and Anvil. This scenario is the campaign game, in quotes, of Air Armor. It is a huge scenario depicting the ultimate commitment of the entire 8th Guards Army onto the game map, with the mission of breaching the mine and driving south towards Stuttgart. So that, yeah, there's a lot to that. And then you have your notes here. Some player notes here and some designer notes here. And that goes for a bit here. And then we have our tables at the back for the TO and E. So pretty extensive here as well. And then an index with a whole lot of... So yeah, there's a lot to this game, obviously. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there was some, I don't know, what's the right word, consternation about the size of the rule book. So you can see the rule book is pretty thick. It is bound. It runs 146 pages, which some people thought was too much. Now, the designer, Bruce Maxwell, has kind of addressed this quite often, actually, I think, on BGG. So one thing he points out, and this is certainly true, is the text, rather, is very large. Like, it's large text, right? And so you have fairly large text. You have graphics on here as well, right? Lots of images, right? Unit types and how the hierarchy of unit types, color coded and everything. It's very, very thorough and comprehensive, as well as being, like I said, I think he said if you took out all of the all of the graphics and shrunk the text to the same size as was in the original. They would be nearly identical in length, or at least close to identical in length. But as I mentioned, there's a lot of graphics in here. So you can see, I mean, there's text, obviously, plenty of text, but there's also plenty of illustrations, pictures, you know, examples of things here. So yeah, I'm not going to go through all of it, obviously. It would take a while. I just would like to point out that I think the ultimate effect of this large rule book, or lengthy rule book rather, is that it's a little bit misleading in how big it is. You can see at the back there's a lot of examples and things that take up big chunks of the pages. Now we'll take a look inside here again, and we've got our counters, and there are a decent number of counters here. We have, what, 6 counter sheets, I think? Yep, 6. So there are plastic on them. I will take the plastic off, and we'll take a look here in a second. Okay, so here are the counters. Now, something near and dear to my heart is the aircraft right here. But what's missing is no F-15s. We have some Canadian F-18s, some F-16s, some A-10s, of course, some West German Phantoms, and some Alpha Jets. And then on the Soviet side, of course, well, these are West German too, Tornadoes. You've got the Su-17, the Su-25, the MiG-27, and then we've got our various helicopters here. NATO helicopters and some Soviet helicopters over here. Then we have various units. So you've got armor. We can take a quick look at the, let me get this focused. There we go. You can see some of the armor units. You can see the aircraft, the color coding for the various units. All right, so pretty good, nice looking counters. They're nice and smooth. They seem like they punch out pretty easy. I'm not going to punch them out right now. Got the 4th Canadian Mobile Brigade here at the bottom, or yeah, I think that's what that was called. Then the backs, some of these, the Canadians, etc., right? So that's sheet 1. Then we've got some markers here as well. More units at the bottom. And some more markers. And some units. A lot of markers. Some more markers. You can see here some of the aircraft markers and improved positions, etc. Double-sided, of course. And our last one, Shattered. Makes me want to sing a Stone song. HQ hits, objective, deliberate defense. Etc., etc. So that's that. Okay, here we have sequences cards. So there's 2 of these, 1 copy for each player. Double-sided, so you can see these 2 are the same. And you can see sequences card here, right? Overrun operations cycle, close attack operation cycle. Now there is a sequences card 1 as well, which that's just the order they were in the box. And here is 1. So sequence of play, right? And then activation cycle. And on the back, we've got March operation cycle, reserve operation cycle, and hasty attack operation cycle. And again, 1 copy for each player, so there are 2. Then we've got our West German TO and E here. So you've got the 12th Panzer Division Base, Independent Jaeger Battalions, 34th Brigade, the 26th Luftlanding Brigade, 54th Heimatschutz Brigade, 36th Brigade, and the 35th Brigade. You can see they all have shatter values and number and steps, so 7 steps. Oh, and we do have on the other side U.S. and Canadians. U.S. 3rd ID. Then you've got the famous 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment, 2nd Squadron. And you've got here 1st Brigade, U.S. 3rd, 2nd Brigade, U.S. 3rd ID, 3rd Brigade. Then we've got the 4th Canadian Mechanized Brigade Group, and the U.S. 7th Corps base with their field artillery and engineers. Warsaw Pact tracks card, single-sided, as I would have expected. And we've got our Warsaw Pact tables of organization and equipment for the 79th Guards Tank Division and the 27th Guards Motor Rifle Division on one side, and then the 39th and 57th GMRD on the other side, GMRDs I should say, I guess, with their, you can see the colors of the units, so you see all the counters, all the various units here comprising Soviets. Pool card for the Warsaw Pact. Another T, O, and E for the Soviets or the Warsaw Pact. And then you've got their army level assets, the artillery, rocket launchers, etc., engineers. And then you've got some East Germans on this side from the East German 4th Motor Rifle Division. And there's nothing on the back of that one. Then we've got our NATO pool card for the U.S. 3rd, the 4th CMBG, and the 12th Panzer, and the 54th Heimatschutz Brigade. There at the bottom, NATO track card. If I can get it out. My fingers don't want to cooperate right now for some reason. There are 2 things left before we get to the map. So we've got the NATO tracks card here. So you've got tracks for the various forces, of course. U.S. 3rd, West German 12th Panzer, and the 4th CMBG. And then we have a Warsaw Pact planning card covering their units, the 27th Guard Motor Rifle, etc., all the way down to your East German 4th Motor Rifle Division, their independent regiments as well. As you can see, we have Map A and Map B. And put them together and you get a big old map. So we're going to do that. I'll do that off camera because I'm going to have to move some stuff around, reframe my shot so that we can hopefully get a good shot of the entirety of this map. Okay, so what we've got here is the bulk of the map. This is Map B. This is Map A. It is very large. It's 222 by 34, so it's 34 by 44 now that it's spread out. And you can see to here, so we're missing the two bottom hex rows here, but you can see the bulk of the map here. Schweinfurt, Würzburg is over here. Bad Kissingen is over here. Karlstadt up there. Bad Neustadt an der Saale over there. And so this is the terrain over which you will be fighting. The German, East Germany is down here in this corner, right here. And north is this way. So your Soviet forces coming from the east obviously would be pushing in this direction as well. So you can see some of your terrain key on here. This is the NATO off-map display. We've got two of them. There are also Warsaw Pact ones that you cannot see because they're at the bottom, a little bit off camera. I only have so much range on my camera here I should say. But you can see the road network, your urban terrain, your rivers. We've got some elevation over here, some elevation along here, some ridges and so forth. But you can see different types of roads. So I'm assuming, yeah, this is Autobahn. And the yellow is Bundesstraße, so more like a regular sort of highway, I guess. And yeah, so you have Autobahn, And obviously they would have different terrain effects, I'm sure. I have not looked in depth at the TEC, but I'm assuming that's what it has. And yeah, so that is a look at this game. This is Air Armor Würzburg from Compass Game, designed by Bruce Maxwell. This is the designer signature edition. And to look for a playthrough or play example or something, some kind of play video coming up in the not too distant future here on the Hexed Encounter channel. But that's going to do it for now. As always, please feel free to comment, ask questions, etc. I will do my best to reply. Also, if you would like to like, share, and or subscribe to the channel, that would be outstanding and much appreciated. But that will do it for this one. My name's Joe. This is the Hexed Encounter channel. And until next time, as always, happy gaming.